incredible poll news, incredible poll news, historic numbers. I mean, this is the biggest number he's seen yet. Imagine that. With the Democrats squawking like they do, on and on and on and on all day, he's getting record poll numbers, 55% approval rating. How do you like that? MSNBC, I'll tell you. Poor Peppermint Patty over there at MSNBC or whatever the heck they call it now, the Ms. Network. At the Ms. Network, she decided to go on television last night and say this, which, you know, within 12 hours basically, had totally expired.
We may never know why Donald Trump suddenly spent a week hiding entirely from the American public. But you don't actually need baseless online conspiracies to explain why he might not want to show his face in public right now. I mean, for starters, there's the polling, and boy, is it brutal.
Yeah, not so brutal. I mean, maybe brutal for you, Jenny, Peppermint Patty, whatever you'd like to go by. I mean, she's just a sad, sorry excuse for a journalist. I'm sorry, but the woman, for goodness sakes, was Joe Biden's press person. Okay, so she's an operative of the Democrat Party, and now they stick her into some slot, which, you know, I'm sorry, she's trying. We'll give her that. She's trying, but I'm going to pay Rachel Maddow a compliment. She's no Rachel Maddow. And that's saying a lot. Take that however you'd like. Anyway, historic approval ratings. This is just incredible to see. I'm really happy for him. You know that? I'm just happy for him. I'm happy for the GOP because, you know, there's been so much noise and so much hostility coming from one side. And then what do you know? It turns out most of the country likes the guy. And you know that if he's at 55%, he's actually way higher because we still have this sort of shy polling thing going on where people don't really want to admit, yeah, we like what Donald Trump is doing, but they love it. And you know what they really love? They love the fact that he's cracking down on crime because who wouldn't want that, for goodness sakes? I mean, who wouldn't want to have a safer neighborhood? Isn't that what we kind of aspire to keep ourselves and our children safe in this world? My goodness, take a look at some of the internals on this. 55% approval rating according to the latest poll. It was done by Daily Mail in conjunction with JL Partners, and 45% disapproving. So that's, you know, the Democrat base, which is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Just pointing that one out. I mean, the party's like almost nearly extinct at this point. Quote, this is the highest approval figure we have ever shown for Donald Trump, according to the pollster. They had 867 registered voters. It was conducted from August 21st through September 1st. So included that time when you had the media saying, oh, maybe he's dead or something because they couldn't find him. That was their other hoax. It had a 3.3% margin of error, highest on record. In fact, he's up about 6 points from when they last took this poll. And really what it suggests is that Americans like what they're seeing in terms of his doubling down, this war on crime that you saw in Washington, D.C., where he's had already enormous success. That resonates with people. And you know what? That's why you get people in Chicago begging for him to come and help. And this is why Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, and all the Democrats, Pritzker, the rest of them, they don't get it. It's like they're so in their elite little insular world that they don't understand common reality, which is that people want to be able to get to work and back safely every day. And I'm sorry, but if you're living on the south side of Chicago, that's a toss-up. Here, look at Trump's approval rating. Look at that. Wow, what a curve. You just see this massive increase since when? Since he started cracking down on crime in Washington, D.C. I mean, look, even the mayor of D.C., Muriel Bowser, had to admit this. I mean, she's on tape saying thank you. Thank you to federal law enforcement for helping us get carjackings down 87%. This resonates with people left and right, dimwit Dems.
And we greatly appreciate the surge of officers that enhance what MPD has been able to do in this city. The most significant thing that we are highlighting today is the area of crime that was most troubling for us in 2023. Now, we have driven it down over the last years, but I'm going to get my glasses so I can make sure I can see it correctly. But for carjackings, the difference between this period, this 20-day period of this federal surge and last year represents a 87% reduction in carjackings in Washington, D.C. We know that when carjackings go down, when use of gun goes down, when homicide or robbery go down, neighborhoods feel safer and are safer. So this surge has been important to us for that reason.
Yeah, because you know what? This is a city that's had a lot of challenges. Look at the homicide rate. I mean, I've showed you guys this graphic before. It's insane to think that it's 41 per 100,000 in Washington, D.C., in our nation's capital. I mean, it's infuriating, absolutely infuriating, liberals everywhere. But again, as you look at this graphic and you see that you're safer off in Mexico City or Bogota, Colombia, or Havana, Cuba, or Lima, Peru, you're kind of like, gee, I mean, isn't this the United States of America where we're supposed to have kind of a better situation on our hands, right? Well, people want that, which is, again, why you're now looking at this enormous surge in Donald Trump's popularity. Because, you know, I get it. He's not everybody's cup of tea. I actually happen to find him charming and funny and self-deprecating and all the good things, right, that you kind of want. I keep calling it the je ne sais quoi in the politician, which is very rare. I mean that. Very, very, very rare. Who has a sense of humor and can talk at length about so many different things and have an appreciation for so many different things. That's one Donald Trump. So he's a rare breed in that sense. Genuinely likes people as well. And yet you hadn't seen it enough, in my estimation. I think you're going to see it more in the poll numbers until now. When you look at that dip, think about when that was. That was in April, just as the tariffs exploded onto the scene, and there was a lot of buzz about, okay, this is going to destroy the economy, and there was uncertainty, and people didn't know what it meant. And so that's why you see that plunging number. But he's been on the upswing ever since, and he's going to take it away. I'm telling you, mark my words, I am rarely ever wrong. Truly. I mean, I don't mean to toot my own horn too much, but there's a reason I'm here and not at Fox anymore. It's because I actually had the wherewithal, there's another word for it, but I'll save you, to go out and say in March 2020, when nobody would say this and they were about to shut down the entire country, this was the most stupid, asinine thing I'd ever heard of. And why was the market trading off 2,000 points? This was totally ridiculous. And hey, you know what? We didn't know a lot right then, but to exaggerate it the way we exaggerated, I predicted would be dangerous politically for Donald Trump and dangerous for the economy. And was I not right? I mean, it cost me my job, but that's okay, because guess what? I'm here. I'm here with you, and we are in the top 100, and it's fantastic. It's all on my own terms, and it's a very different medium. Transparent as H-E-double-L, right? I'm looking direct in the camera. There's no prompter. There's no middle management. There's no nothing. Just me and you. And we hope the microphones and the cameras work today. Right? Joe, good to see you. Thank you for these videos. He says, I have learned a lot. You're the best. I appreciate that. I really, really do. Mark says, 964, Trish. It's happening, right? Mark, it's happening. I like your little porcupine there. Orange kind of goes with my dress. This is fantastic. Really, really. Joe, again, thank you for the generosity. Much, much, much appreciated. You guys are a fantastic audience. And, today's a day when I think we can really, really celebrate, because a lot of places aren't even going to talk about this. They don't know how to talk about this. You saw Jen Psaki last night say, oh, the polls are terrible. He's doing terrible. And then not even 12 hours later, suddenly, what do you see? The best approval rating on record. And it's a good poll, by the way. This is not like some shoddy poll. When I worked at Fox, they were very, very picky about whose polls you could use, which were basically only theirs. Only theirs. At Fox Business, we were only allowed, the woman who was in charge of all the polls, she was very territorial about this stuff. My poll is the only one that matters. Well, if you notice, the Fox polls, and there was one by the Wall Street Journal recently, they're not going to be as favorable. I think that there's some other stuff going on behind the scenes, shall we say there. But this one is good. This one's truthful, and I think this one is fair. I mean, as truthful as it can be, because again, don't forget, you do have a lot of shy voters in there, but I think people are saying, hey, this is wonderful. We are safer than we have ever been in Washington, D.C. And guess what? Chicago, he's coming for you, baby. Chi-Town, listen up, because he's coming for you. And the National Guard is going in. Quick shout out to my company, 76 Research. I told you I'm rarely wrong on things. Well, occasionally we get things wrong, but at 76 Research, we are long-term investors. We are in it for the long haul. Here are 3 of our model portfolios: American Resilience, Inflation Protection, Income Builder, all up and away. These are really, really good stocks to have. We get basically 10 to 12 in each one of these portfolios. You can get the portfolios at 76portfolios.com, or you can subscribe to my newsletter at 76research.com for all things economic and markets for those of you looking to invest.